destroying a major road bridge in Kosovo. And for the first time, they dropped their biggest weapons. Two 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs were used to step up the campaign of disrupting the Serbs' supply routes and lines of communication.
Today's target, because it was a fairly hard bridge, required the accuracy, the penetration and the blast available to us with the Paveway 3, and hence it was the best weapon for the task.
The Paveway 3s are twice the size of the previous laser-guided bombs used by the Harriers. They have greater range and accuracy and can be used to destroy much larger targets. Last night, NATO planes continued the offensive. Serb authorities claimed the southern town of Niš was bombed 26 times in just 30 minutes. At today's briefing, the Ministry of Defence said Serbian forces were becoming increasingly demoralised.
The Serbian military are now starting to realise the full significance of NATO's very carefully coordinated air campaign. They realise that their military capability is being systematically destroyed.
In Albania, the Apache helicopters were flying their first test manoeuvres. NATO hopes they'll have a significant impact in the air campaign. Shuli Ghosh, ITN, Gioia del Colle.
Kosovan refugees continue to cross into Albania, but there's still no sign of the 100,000 who went missing on their way to the border a few days ago. Our senior correspondent Mark Austin in Albania has been speaking to some who are desperately seeking news of their families and friends.
They came across today in a trickle, not a flood. The same stories of Serb terror and the same tears. But for the scores of people waiting on the border for news of relatives still stuck in Kosovo, it is torture. For the old man waiting for his wife. For the children waiting for their parents. And for 24-year-old Faton Preteni, who's waited for 7 days for his mother and father. He checks almost every car coming across for any information. He's heard his parents were walking towards the border with thousands of other people, but that suddenly they'd been turned back by the Serbs.
I'm afraid because maybe something bad will happen to them. But at least I hope, I pray to God that they will be okay.
This man claims Serb police gave him just a few minutes to leave his home with his handicapped son. They'd fired at his car as he fled, he said, and he showed us the bullet hole. His wife and 3 other children are still in Kosovo, and he's been waiting at the border for 8 days.
Of course there's something sinister. We know what the Serbians are capable of. They've still got several 100,000 people in there. What are they doing to them? They could be just keeping them, or they could be doing things far worse to them.
So the ordeal for the people waiting here goes on, waiting for news of family and friends trapped inside Kosovo, just over the border here. Fate unknown. They wait in hope together, and they wait in hope alone. Mark Austin, ITN, on the Kosovo-Albanian border.
Now other news.